Hey everybody, welcome to Driving Cheap with Jeff. On today's video, I'm going to talk to you about changing your fuel pump on your Dodge Charger. This same video will apply to many other Dodge vehicles such as the Chrysler 300, the Dodge Magnum, and all of the Charger lineup. Alright, the next thing that you need to look at, if you break down and your car won't start, check your fuel pump fuse. These always pop, or almost always pop, when one of the fuel pumps goes bad. This 25 amp fuse is actually a good idea to just replace it for preventative maintenance, because it's always on all the time. And here's your fuel pump relay. This is your small voltage going to switch on your big voltage right here. And you could switch this relay with this one here, just swap them. You can try that first to get yourself home. But like I said, most of the time that's not going to work. So you have two fuel pumps being run off one fuse and one relay. They both need each other to work. So what we're going to do now is look at the tools that you need to do this job. All right. All you need is a 10mm wrench to disconnect your battery. You need a mallet, a rubber mallet, and or possibly a hammer, and a flashlight in case it starts getting dark, obviously, and some rubber gloves, because most of the time when you need to change a fuel pump, you have a full tank of gas and you need to get it down to half a tank. So, and a tarp. You don't want to spill any gas in your interior because your car will smell like gas. So you have to have your little small tarp, your funnel for transferring the fuel into the can. If you have more than half a tank of gas, you'll need your Harbor Freight gas pump. I didn't really take very good care of this. It still works. They actually work pretty well. They're only like $9. I modified it. I've actually pumped a lot of gas with this. I have a new tool from O'Reilly I'm going to try out. I'll do a follow-up on that. We'll try it out on a later video. Right here, if you have an air compressor on the tops of your fuel pumps, you get a lot of dust and grime, a lot of road grime. Directly under the seat, there is a passage so that the gasoline can get out and leak on the ground, so it won't fill up the passenger compartment if you have a fuel leak. So it's a good idea to try to blow it off, or use your shop vacuum and a little brush to agitate it to try to get as much of the dirt off, and then just take some of this brake cleaner and spray off the area around the ring, so that you don't introduce any kind of dirt into your gas tank. And safety glasses. It's a good idea to work with some safety glasses, so have your safety glasses, especially if you have a full tank of gas and you know it. This car is at less than half a tank right now. And before you do anything, and a towel. Make sure you have a towel, because this is the best way. Always have it handy in case you spill some gas. You can blot it up really quick. And you can also take this towel and to save your gas that you get in your pan. Now, I wouldn't put it back in my car. The stuff that I pump directly out of the tank, I'll put that back in the car. But the stuff that comes out of that pan, I just take this, put it back in my can, and pour it in there. It does a pretty good job of filtering out all the little particles from the pan and, all little bits of dirt and stuff. It's good for a lawnmower. So, have that. Let's disconnect the battery. Come around here, only disconnect your negative terminal. Not hard to do. Let's loosen this up. Alright, this car has not been run in a while, so there's no fuel pressure built up. Just leave that right there. Come around here. Alright, come around here. Now this seat comes out really easily. I like to power both of the front seats. You want them all the way forward. Looks like I could probably move that passenger seat forward a little bit more. So I'll do that when I go on the other side. Just go like this. Just lift up, gently lift up, like that. Around the other side, stay right there. Let me scoot my seat forward, like that. You lift up like this. Snaps up. And it just lifts out really easy. This comes right out. Now, I just set this right aside or on the roof of the car. All right. And you come in here and you move the insulation material. You just move this over and just tuck it out of the way. You just want to get gasoline on this. It just takes longer to get rid of the smell. And this here, you can actually take an object. Might be better. I'll take my flashlight, just set it up here out of the way. Unplug it. Set that up in there so it's just out of the way. Kind of help tuck it in. Get that moved out of the way. Now, take this cover off. You just pick it off with your fingers or a flat screwdriver if it's on there tight. Just pull this off. All right, we have this one exposed. Now, let me run to this side. All right. I'm going to tuck this in as well. Get this out of the way. Try to prevent gas from getting on it. This right here. You can unplug this part, stick your fingers down in here and pull that out, all right? Mine's already pretty clean. I cleaned this before. And all you do is you pinch down with your thumb, press that at the same time as you just wiggle it and pull it out. That unplugs your main wiring harness. The way this works is that fuel pump plugs into this fuel pump and this goes to the car. The fuel goes out over there on that side and goes to the engine. And it's like 102 to 130 PSI and 70 gallons per hour. I think is what they're rated at. Now, if you see that these pumps say that they're made in Mexico, they are the original pumps to the car. The original pumps for the Dodge Chargers and Magnums, they all say made in Mexico on them. So you'll know if they've been replaced. And after 120,000 miles and you want your car to be reliable, it's a good idea to just change them, because then you can determine whether or not you have half a tank of gas or full tank of gas much easier, and takes half the time if you have less than half a tank. Really, a quarter tank is probably better. So what we're going to do now, we have our battery disconnected, we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and put these rubber gloves on. Alright, so I've got my blue tarp laid out. I want to do this because if you do happen to spill any gasoline, it's a lot better. Like, you won't smell it, it's not going to soak into the carpet, gas evaporates, but it takes a long time to get the smell out. So try to cover everything up. I'm going to show you real quick too. On I chose these O'Reilly Auto Parts precision pumps. I got both of them for a total of $350. And the reason I didn't go back and buy the Delphi brand pump and the Bosch pump, which is what I bought for this car, that was the combination I could get to get the best, most reliable pumps for the car. The reason I didn't do that is these pumps, I'm not 100% happy with them. They're a little loud, and I bought them online, so I can't just take them back. And that's kind of a big deal. And it's easier if you buy it at your local auto parts store, because if they smell like gasoline, you can just bring it to them. It's not a big deal to swap them out. But if you have to mail it back, then you have to do all that back and forth, and it could just take longer. And these have a lifetime warranty on them, so I'm just not worried. So if they're loud, I'll swap them back out, but I think that they're going to be all right. We're going to try it out. So this is all we need to do. You take a flat screwdriver. All right, if you look closely at this ring right here, this is what presses this down in place, this ring. So what you want to do is you want to tap the ring. These tabs, they stay still and the ring moves. So what you do is you simply take your screwdriver and a rubber hammer and you give it a couple whacks. Sometimes it takes more than others. Bam, that's all you have to do. Take this off right here and set it aside. It actually goes flat. The flat end goes down, and you just set this off to the side, and you come around and you do your other side to it. On this one here, you tap it the other way, and I like to leave the fuel line on until after I get this ring off, so then that way I don't have gas everywhere while I'm trying to tap this, and just a little easier. So I'll take this right here, set it right on there, and I will give it a little whack. Try it. Sometimes you need to try it in a couple different spots. All right, so So we'll go like this. Stand back on an angle. They can be on there pretty good. I know there's a special tool for this. I bought it and it never showed up and I just forgot about it. So I know that's not very good, but this is the way it goes sometimes. There we go. We got that ring off. So that's all we needed to get these things off. And then you want to disconnect this right here. Now, if you were just running the vehicle, you definitely want to have some safety glasses on. I don't think anything's going to come out right now because it's been sitting for like almost 2 days. So you just press down on these two little tabs on the side, put your fingers just like that, tweeze it. There you go. Nothing sprayed out or anything like that. You set this off to the side here. Try not to damage it. This connector on the newer style chargers is better than on the older style. The olders were a little tougher to disconnect. At least I found that to be the case. You lift this ring out, just set it off to the side. I like to set stuff that has any kind of gasoline on it or out of the car, just less smell. All right, the other thing I forgot, we need a little bit of grease to put on the new O-rings. Because I want the O-rings to stay put, everything to slide in place nice. Okay, the other tool I forgot to mention about is either have a piece of string or a piece of wire handy to pass the fuel hoses, which are connected to the fuel pump on the passenger side. Make sure you have a piece of wire handy, because what I do is before I take it out, I attach this to the wire harness and the fuel lines, and I let it drag through, and then I disconnect it at the other side, so I can hook it to the new pump. So what we're gonna do is pop this out. Sometimes you have to use a screwdriver to pry that. Lift this out, and you'll see right in here, first thing you want to do is disconnect your wires. They're pretty easy. Look under here, these you pinch them, there's a little clip, little plastic looking bit that clips right in. And pretty easy to do. Undo that, and we undo that. And take this part off. Set this out of the way. As a reference, you might want to just set it off to the side on the angle, like just kind of put it on the ground the same way it came out of the car. Then when you go into here, you're going to disconnect this right here. You see this little green bit right here? That you press on. You just press your finger directly into that, and that's going to release this here. Easy. There. Comes right off. Over here, right here, these lines right here, all they do is they just pop out. You just pop them. You just kind of unclip like that. Now you got everything disconnected. And this thing actually is pretty full. So what we'll do is we will lift this out. Just gonna lift this out. There's a little more gas than I thought it did. Move these hoses down there out of the way. You're good. That's why you have rubber gloves. Take this here. That's why you have your can underneath. And you have your bucket. So you want to hold it right there where it's not going to go in the interior of the car. Take your bucket. Set it inside. All right. Set this off to the side. You go like this. You take this and you hook onto one of these here. Right here is a good spot where that zip tie is. Take this and you literally just hook right into it, right there like that. And that's it. That's all you got to do on this side right for right now. And you got to take your old O-ring out. Don't forget to change this out there. All right, like this. Throw it in the bucket. Come around the other side. All right, now we're on the other side. Got everything disconnected. We're just going to lift our fingers in here, and that's pretty good suction, so it doesn't take anything. Just kind of pry gently on this right there. All right, and gently pry on that. And this side it's kind of tricky. You kind of have to mess with it to get it to go in, but when you take it out, definitely get that off to the side. And this up. Like I said, they both have fuel floats on them and everything. It's like 2 of everything. And run this out. I like to change these as a set. When it comes to the other side, it's really unusual how it is. Now I have my piece of wire over here, but I'll get this out of the car, set this down in there, holding this, and I will unhook my piece of wire. Now you can probably just reach in there and just push a piece of wire through, or any piece of anything that's kind of stiff that'll go through. Take your wiring harness, spill gasoline all over the place, so this is just the better way to do it. Carefully do this, set it in the bucket, get it out of the way where you don't have to breathe all the gas. Alright, now, okay, so I've unpackaged my fuel pump that installs under the passenger seat. Now, yet again, don't forget, almost did, make sure you get your old O-ring out of here. Now, if you don't have, or you take your fuel tank apart and you need another O-ring, these are very expensive. The cheapest I've found is from Crown on eBay, Crown Automotive Sales. This is a 553-66298AA, and these are what I always get when I need one of these. So set that to the side. It's exactly the same as the one that comes with the O'Reilly pump, and I like to put a little bit of grease on here. A little bit on. I'm not going to do it just yet. I put it on this card, set it in a clean spot up here on the roof, and well, actually, you know what? I can't do that. Make sure I put it on here first. Just take this here. I'm going to smear a little bit of grease on here so it'll slide pretty nice. All right, it's slippery. Just a light coat. I have to put tons of it on there. And all right, wipe my hands off with my towel. Set this to the side. Take this new fuel pump, which make sure you take all the plastic and things like that off. Make sure it's all untangled. It needs to have zip ties on them, but that's just to hold the whole assembly together. You leave those. Take this and do the same thing here. You simply put this through here, or a good spot to put it. All right, you just hook it and get it down in there, snake it on through, and pull the wire on the other side, which is what I'll do in a minute. We set this here. All right, and we pull on the other side. So I've got it. Pull that through. Carefully, just kind of tug it. There we go. Pull that right on through. All right. Really careful. So we're good. We got that through. Now we just unhook it. So I think this wire, it's soft and bendable. Hit that. There we go. Move this carefully out of the way so you don't poke your eyes. Come back to this side over here. And alright. We'll get our O-ring on here. So have that ready to go. Don't forget the O-ring. And your hyper tough flashlight, which is pretty awesome. There's nothing interfering here. And see a little bit of sand, and this is what I was talking about with the brake parts cleaner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little spray. So we have a nice tight seal right there. All right, back off a little bit. All right, now we just go like this. Carefully, almost just use the air. This is the air of it. Kind of clean it off. There. All right, that's pretty clean. Set that to the side and carefully set this around in here. All right, set it on in here. This whole thing just comes right down in here. And make sure your O-ring, you don't want to lose this. Just keep it right up around here. And take this fuel line here. hold that out of the way. You can just set this in this little groove right here. All right, it sets right down in that groove. And this stays nice and straight. And make sure it's all the way in there. So we put in the grease so it can slip into place. Once you get this thing down in here, it's kind of, this side's a little bit tricky. You get it in, kind of have to manipulate it around a little bit until it kind of gets to where it needs to be. It'll go. I feel like it's bottoming out, but it will go. Takes a minute. This always kind of seems to happen. Now I'm going to go on the other side and just give the lines a little tug, make sure there's nothing interfering. All right. Here are my fuel lines. You kind of have to reach in there, but they're right in the area. So these are out of the way. Doesn't matter if you get gas on any of this stuff. It'll be okay. Set it right there. Everything's out of the way. We'll go back on this side. Alright, so, oh yeah, we need to slide this little plastic cap off, but we'll do that afterwards. We'll be fine. All I can do right now is actually wanting to come off now. Let's set that off here, lift this up, and like I said, this is kind of tricky. Don't be discouraged. This always happens when you're trying to fit this thing down in here. Just kind of wiggle it around and go straight. It's got to go like this, so. Got to kind of, oh, there we go. Look at that. See? We're in. He's got to get it past these little lips. So you have it all the way around, and you take your finger, you kind of feel around. You feel your O-ring is pressed up in there nice. You've got nothing to worry about. It's even gap right here. This is straight. Everything's good. Don't plug your fuel line in until we take this ring. All right, you take your ring, and just kind of wipe it off with your hand. And like this one's already pretty clean. Take this, lift it up over the fuel line, and kind of get it seated, right? Kind of get it right in here where it's going to start. And make sure it looks like everything is lining up pretty well. All right. It's tight because it's got a brand new rubber O-ring that has got to go in. Now you take your flashlight, set it right there, set this like this, and you can back off a little bit. All right, and this right here needs to go this way, so we need to tap this thing. Get your screwdriver nice and sturdy. You just tap it. There we go. We got it started. Right. Now we get it over the next notch. So we're good. Let's put our fuel line on. Should have done that already. So now we're starting to get over everything. Let's go back into the spot here. Let's give it a tap. It's gonna go. All right. Same right here. Give it another little tap right there. All right, almost. All right, and a little bit further. There, that's all the way on, right like that. You see where it's at? All the way flush up against it. That's all the way on. So now we'll focus our attention on the opposite side, and we'll actually, I've worked today, so I got home kind of late, and we'll use my Stanley flashlight also. It's good to have good flashlights. All right, let's set this over here, and we'll use this flashlight over here. Let's go over here, and I'm going to smear it on my O-ring. Nice and slippery. All right, get it all on there. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be tons of it. Just enough to make it slippery so it seals pretty well. All right, set it off to the side on your plastic. Keep your hands off. Now we go in here and we show you what we have. All of our fuel lines and everything. Now what you have to do, oh yeah, another thing, make sure you pull these caps out too. There's a cap right here, look at this. But you won't be able to put it together with a cap in there, so you'll be all right. Now the new fuel pump, I've already unpackaged it. Can't put this top part in until you sink it down in there into the gasoline. That's why it's better to get all the gas out and everything. A little bit better. And we'll set this right here. And what you want to do is get this down inside. All right, put this down in here. Put it on in. And just let it fill up with gas. And you take these lines right here. And this one, these two hoses right here, they just snap right in like that. All they do is they just press right in. And the reason why you want to have safety glasses, so in case any gas sprays out for some reason, have your safety glasses on. Now, then you take this fuel line, and it's got a little quick disconnect connector on here, and it looks like we have another one of these little caps. Of course, I forgot to take off. It's been a while since I changed one of these. So, carefully pull this out. All right, got that out of there. And we'll press this down on here, off to the side. Press this right on here. And this will just snap into place right there like that. So, now you have everything looks exactly like it's supposed to. You have everything fastened where it needs to be fastened. You take this and turn it around like this, facing this way, and put it down in here as to not to interfere. You take your finger, so you gotta have these rubber gloves. You do not want to do this without gloves. Your hands will really be hurting. I hate getting gasoline, submerging my hands in gasoline. Now, take these and plug them in. Easier to do this first. Plug these in, twist them around, and plug them on in. Make sure they snap in good, they click. That's in good, it's not gonna pull out. Take this one here. This one goes the opposite way. Pull on it, it's good. No, it's not. That's why you gotta tug on it. Make sure it's in there. And are we in there? Yep, we're in there now. So you always want to give it a little tug and really look at it. Make sure it's not gonna fall out. Just wanna do this twice. And your O-ring, which is right here. Don't forget about that. Set your O-ring. Put it around here, make sure it looks pretty clean. Yeah, it looks good. Everything looks good. So you just set this down in here. Put that right in this little groove right there. You're good. You can have gasoline on it, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. That thing will seal up nice. I think there's actually a recall out right now. Chrysler has a recall on those O-rings if you smell gas in your car. So they're putting new O-rings in for people. Something what you should look into. All right, if you have the original fuel pumps in your car, move this out of the way and just press this down in place. Just like this. Just wiggle it down in there. Check your O-ring, make sure it's all just pressed. Just kind of take your fingers around it. Look at it best you can. We're good. Even gap on the front right here. That's good. Now we take our ring and kind of just look at it, make sure it doesn't have any sand or anything on it. We're good. Take this in here and put safety glasses on when you do this. If you see there's any gasoline kind of pooled up around here, all right, put your safety glasses so that you don't splash gas. I meant to say that. And just kind of make sure that's in there. Yeah, it's really humid here, so it's hard to wear safety glasses when it's humid outside because they fog up so bad. So we go like this, start tapping light. Okay, we're in. Are we in all the way around? Yep, we're in. Looks good. Keep your glasses on. Line it up right here. Wish I could have done this earlier, but it just didn't work out that way. All right, back down. Just tap it all around. see where we're at. I'll lift my safety glasses just to see. All right, we're almost there. You have to give it a couple more taps, and it'll be all the way flush against it. That's what you want. Flush against it. Actually, this right here, that all the way flush? It might be. We might just give it just one more tap and be done. Put the safety glasses back down. Show you what I do. All right, good there. And that's all the way down. So what you want to do is take a little WD-40. Okay, so got a little bit of gasoline on this connector, but it's actually a good idea. You just take this, spray a little WD-40. Hit it with a little WD-40, won't hurt anything. And just take it, a little tap, slide this on in. It'll be fine. All right. Now what I like to do is I'm going to stop filming for a minute. I'm going to get a little bit of water, and I'm going to pour the water down around here. It'll pour out on the ground. First I will remove my pan. Really didn't collect any gas anyways. Alright, I didn't use compressed air to blow anything out or anything like that, but I put a little water in there, rinse it out from under this little panel right here. And I took a towel, instead of using my air compressor, I just took a towel, just dabbed up the water. So what I'll do now is we just set these covers back in. Alright, I'm going to leave this back seat out, because it's still pretty hot here. And I'm going to try to get as much of the smell to go away. It does smell like gasoline. And if you need to use your car the next day, just drive with your windows down, obviously. And if you can let it sit, you can afford to let it sit for a day or two after you do this. Probably better, let the fumes out of it. Leave your battery disconnected or turn off your interior lights. Just let everything kind of air out. Around to the other side, do the same thing. This seat just snaps back in really easily. Just take this here, untuck it. Oh yeah, we need this here. A little panel, a little cover panel. This right here. Set it on in here. Lay it out flat. Just let this thing air out. Let it air out nicely. Just tuck this back under here. All right. And then we'll go back in the trunk here, reconnect the battery. First we'll just press this on here. Set this on. Alright. Wiggle it down as much as you can. Alright. Take my 10mm. Alright, good there. Get my keys. And for me, I'm 6'9", so I can't do anything until I power this seat back. I power up this seat. Put my dome light on when I get in here. Alright, that's far enough. Here, get my dome light on. Press my foot on the brake. Brake. Let's start in just a minute. This takes a while to prime. This takes a minute or two to prime up. There we go. Takes about 2 tries, typically. Sounds good. That's it. Alright. Now, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.